Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining. So we like to seek the blessings of Shri Radha Krishna, Radha Shyam Sundar, Krishna Balaram, Gauranitai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled Vaishnavas. So continue. Actually, this is like coming to nearly the conclusion of the Bhagavatam, 6th chapter, discussing the passing away of Parikshit Maharaj. And the 35th verse of this chapter is this one: Namo Bhagavate Tasmai Krishnaya Kunta Vedase Yat Padam Guruha Dhyanat Samhitam Adhyagam Imam. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of God, the invincible Lord Sri Krishna. Simply by meditating upon his lotus feet, I have been able to study and appreciate this great literature. So this is Parikshit Maharaj. And he talks about his passing away. This chapter describes his attainment of liberation. And also Maharaj Janname Jaya, that's his son, Parikshit's son. Performance of sacrifice for killing all the snakes. The origin of the Vedas also was discussed in this chapter, is discussed. And Vyasadev's dividing of the Vedic literature. So it's quite a big chapter. So let's start. Sutta Goswami said to Shonak Rishi, so this is going back to Naimisharanya, after hearing all that was narrated to him by the self-realized and equipoised Sukadev, Maharaj Parikshit humbly approached his lotus feet. Bowing his head down upon the sage's feet, the king, who had lived his life under the protection of Lord Vishnu, folded his hands in respect and spoke as follows. So up to now, Sukadev Goswami has been preaching, and just last chapter he gave the final instructions. Don't think you're going to die. So, because you're the Atma. So then, Parikshit Maharaj says, I have now achieved the purpose of my life due to your kindness to me. You have narrated the Srimad Bhagavatam and described the Supreme Lord. I have no fear of takshak or even of repeated deaths. I have absorbed the supremely auspicious personal form of God. Please give me permission. Allow me to absorb my mind onto the Lord and leave my body. I am now fixed in knowledge and self-realization. My ignorance is finished. Amazing, amazing prayers by Parikshit Maharaj. He's ready. He's been instructed. He's accepted, understood the instruction. Now he's ready to leave his body. Thus requested, the saintly son of Sri Vyasadeva gave his permission to King Parikshit. Then, after being worshipped by the king and all the sages present, Sukadeva Goswami departed from that place. He did not wait for any dakshina. This is the amazing thing about these great souls. They have no ulterior motive of performing or speaking, giving transcendental knowledge. As soon as his job was finished, he left. Didn't wait for payment. Extraordinary. Maharaj Parikshit prepares himself.
Prabhuji,
Yes, no.
Do we know anything further about Sukdev Goswami after this episode?
I think there is some aspect of his life. I think we may have even covered it, but I can't remember now.
Okay.
We'll have a look. Yeah,
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Thank you. Maharaj Parikshit then sat down on the banks of the Ganga. Having attained the perfection of yoga, he experienced full self-realization and was free from material attachment and doubt. The saintly king sat down in yogic posture, meditated upon the supreme absolute truth. His life air ceased to move. He became stationary as a tree. The snake bird Takshak was going towards the king to kill him when he saw Kashyap Muni, who was expert in counteracting poison on the path. However, by flattering Kashyap with valuable offerings, because Takshak was very rich, he had a lot of possessions of gems, Takshak stopped the sage from protecting Parikshit. Then the snake bird, who could assume any form he wished, disguised himself as a Brahmin, approached the king and bit him. The body of the saintly king immediately burned to ashes by the fire of the snake's poison. So that was Parikshit Maharaj ki jai. So he attained liberation. Before that, he was already situated in God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So then, Janame Jaya, the son of Parikshit, became very angry when he received news of his father's death. He had Brahmins perform a mighty sacrifice in which he offered all the snakes in the world into the sacrificial fire. When Takshak saw even the most powerful serpents being attracted to the blazing fire of the snake sacrifice and burned to death in that fire, he was overwhelmed with fear and he approached Lord Indra for shelter. When Janame Jaya did not see Takshak entering the sacrificial fire, he inquired from the Brahmins, who informed him Takshak had not fallen into the fire because he's being protected by Indra, whom he had approached for shelter. Janame Jaya requested the Brahmins to take Takshak, to make Takshak fall into the fire, along with his protector, Indra. So Janame Jaya was so angry, he even wanted to kill Indra. Hearing this, priest then chanted a mantra for offering Takshak together with Indra as an oblation into the sacrificial fire. So the Brahmin, so powerful, and the king, or the son of the king, so powerful to order the Brahmins to do this. Even though Takshak received protection from Indra, he nevertheless became attracted by the mantras and was about to fall together with Indra into the fire. Seeing this, Brihaspati, the son of Angiram Rishi, came and advised Maharaj Janamejaya that Takshak could not be killed because he had drunk the nectar of the demigods. Consequently, he was not subject to the ordinary symptoms of old age and death. So this is Takshak actually has much more to do in this world. So he could not be killed. He had drank the nectar of the demigods. But also, furthermore, Brihaspati said, all living entities must enjoy the fruits of their past activities. When a conditioned soul is killed by snakes, thieves, fire, lightning, hunger, disease, or anything else, he is experiencing the reaction of his own past work. So this is, Guru Maharaj used to say the same thing. If you're crying about your karma, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. If you're worried about the actions, the fruits of your actions, then don't do the action in the first place. Very interesting. Of course, we may not have been in a condition to understand that when we're doing the actions, but it's a fair point. Don't cry because you're doing something wrong. Don't cry later because you shouldn't have done that wrong in the first place. Anyway, the king understood. Therefore, the king gave up this sacrifice. Janamejaya was thus convinced by the words of Brihaspati, and honoring the words of the great sage, he stopped his sacrifice. So this is the thing about the kings, the devotees. They may be angry for some time, but when an explanation is given, they accept and understand. They realize, okay, enough. So that is Parikshit Maharaj ki jai. That's any questions? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I think it's chapter 8, text number 6, that whoever at the time of death remembers me, they will attain me. So this is what Parikshit Maharaj did. He focused himself on the absolute truth, the Supreme Person, after hearing the Bhagavatam, in the presence of the most amazing souls that were in the universe at that time. And he attained the supreme destination.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Nariman.
I had read or heard in one of the other lectures that by the time Takshak came, Parikshit Maharaj has already left he had already left. So what the Takshak beat was just his dead remains, material body, but he was not there.
Yeah, that's it. I think here it is.
Yes.
The saintly king down in yogi, and meditate on the supreme absolute. His life had ceased to move, so he's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yes. Yeah.
became stable in the tree. That's correct. Yeah. That's right. Good
What
note.
a character.
Yeah. Amazing character. Amazing. Amazing.
Thank
This is the, no, thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Anybody else? So I wanted to check the time. So there's quite a lot more. Yes, Praveen?
Yeah, one question I didn't understand. So did you say his son said that all snakes will be fired? So all the snakes were fired, went in all in the fire.
That's right. He was so angry that my father has died because of Takshak. So he ordered a huge sacrifice.
A big fire.
A big fire, and all the snakes in there are certain things that attract snakes, like the playing of a flute in a certain way attracts the snake. The offering, the Brahmins, they could also make a fire to attract the snakes. So they made this fire, the Brahmins, which attracted all the snakes.
And they came in
the fire, yeah.
Oh, and they all died. And then you said the Takshak was protected by Indra.
Takshak is the head of all the snakes. He's the snake bird. Takshak is very famous.
Powerful. Did he die or he didn't?
He became attracted. He was protected by Indra, but then the son of Parikshit Maharaj, Janamejaya, he said to the Brahmins, okay, do a yagya, do a sacrifice, you attract not just Takshak, but Indra as well. So at that time, Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, he came and he said to Janamejaya, no, this is wrong what you're doing. You should understand that your father, he was attacked by Takshak because of his karma. And nobody can escape the law of karma. So stop this sacrifice. This is unnecessary. This is violence. This is wrong. You should not punish innocent living entities like this. So, because even Dakshak was going to jump into that fire. Even Indra was going to jump into that fire. But Brihaspati stopped them, said, no, stop this now. And Janamejaya was so, respectful. He said, yes, okay. Brihaspati, I respect you. I will stop the fire. I will stop the yagya now.
Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yes,
yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Who is Brihaspati?
Brihaspati is the son of Angira Muni, and he is like the priest, the spiritual master of the demigods. So the demigods have a spiritual master. That's Brihaspati. Very powerful, extremely powerful. And the demons also have a spiritual master. His name is Sukracharya.
Sukracharya, this one.
You know that one, yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So he's also very, very powerful, extremely powerful. But he advised the demigod, the demons, that don't give this to Vishnu. He advised Bali Maharaj, don't give everything to Vishnu. But Brihaspati, he advises, give everything to Vishnu.
Okay.
Because they have to have that, if Shukracharya told the demons to give everything to Vishnu, where would be the conflict? There has to be that conflict, so that the Lord, he interacts with the demigods and comes to this world and performs his pastimes, so that we can fall in love with him.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Actually, that's half the chapter. I wanted to actually stop there because the rest is, there's no point rushing through it, because he's actually giving, Sutta Goswami describes quite a lot now. And Shonak Rishi asked him about the Vedas, who spoke the Vedas. So the second half of this chapter goes into the source of the Vedas, and then how Vyasadeva divided up the Vedas into the 4 different samhitas. And then there's different things that took place. We've just given a little summary of what took place after the Vedas were divided, and some of the prayers that took place and the worship that takes place. So if devotees didn't mind, we can continue with that tomorrow, tomorrow Saturday. So, oh no, wait. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Guru Maharaj, aren't we? Yes, tomorrow is actually Saturday. So tomorrow we're going to talk about Guru Maharaj because this is Vyas Puja. It's his appearance day. We're going to celebrate, mark his appearance day. And then Sunday, I think Sunday
Shruti.
we'll do something else.
It's Shruti.
Yeah, Shruti, that's right. And then Monday, we can continue with this on Monday. If that's okay with devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji, I also was reading it, and when it come towards the end, it was getting too much to read, and it was something different subject altogether. So I also stopped reading.
Yeah.
After I read a few more verses, but then I thought it's something different now. Yeah. We can do it on Monday.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's completely Sutta Goswami completely changes the mood of the chapter. It's amazing. All right. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.